Hey there, everybody. So I got a special guest as promised. I got Tupac here with me, and he's been with me for about all week, pretty much. Just a side note of behind the scenes of channeling life is when someone's trying to talk to you, they will, at least for me, they will drop hints. And I'll feel them, I'll feel this presence with me, and it's almost like solving a puzzle sometimes. But with Tupac, he was not subtle at all, as we all know him. He's just in your face. He was pretty straightforward about it. I started playing Tupac songs on my Amazon account, and I put it on my soundtrack, which is Tupac. And then he would, when I'm on my YouTube, this whatever pops up in my feed, I always listen to because I know it's coming to me. I had old interviews out of nowhere with Tupac popping up on my feed, small reels that would validate what I was receiving telepathically. And all week, it started in the beginning of the week with my first video that I made, which I highly suggest you listen to. And this is going to build on top of that. I told you guys there's going to be another video with him, and he wants this to be shared. So here we go. So what he really wants us to know right now is, especially during these times, he said specifically, the cure is within you. You are the cure. You are the cure to your suffering. Whether it's physical, financial, any fear you have, the truth is your cure. Your truth is your cure. And we tap into that truth through love. Because it is the frequency of love, which is our authentic frequency, is where our truth resides. And that is so important. I've been having this really strong message all week, and he validated it today. And right now, he's coming in really strong. So if I stutter or anything, it's because it's coming through here really strong. And it's about transparency. Transparency is what is going to save us, what is going to save you. Because we are here to put our unique stamp on Earth. In this realm. And he showed me even and showing me now is wet concrete handprints. We do that by living in our truth, embodying our most authentic frequency and self. And we do that through love. We do that by loving ourselves, because love is unconditional. We are the only people that make it conditional. We buy into these programs of the matrix, of beliefs that aren't ours, of valid realities, but they're just not a match to our truth. So they're not wrong. They're just not representing our natural frequency of love. So by being transparent, by following what fires you up, what truly calls you and resonates with your truth, is so key. Because you are not here to change the reality that you've been playing in. And that is what he talked about. You're here to create your own reality through your truth, through your rules. Because the key is, we are afraid of love because we are afraid of embodying our truth. And this is why he said we are, because we are seeing our reality, our world, as concrete. So we are afraid to embody that truth. We are afraid of being that version of us that embodies our truth because we're trying to fit into this world. Of course, being authentic in this reality, in the matrix of fear, is going to be scary as fuck. You're not here to change this reality. It's going to be scary as fuck because in this realm that a lot of us are in, this field-based matrix realm, transparency is frowned upon. Not even just frowned upon, but you are literally punished for your transparency. You were punished for choosing you, for standing in your truth, for not conforming. You are guided by fear that if you don't work that 9 to 5, then you will suffer and be homeless. You will not be provided for if you follow your passion. That because of your gender orientation or your sexual orientation, your skin color, you are treated differently. You see what I'm getting at here? His truths are timeless, and they ring so true even now. So I got off track there for a minute. You're trying to be transparent in this world that you're in right now. And this is what he was teaching with his music. And even an interview that I posted, and I put the link down below, I think, as well. This interview I watched yesterday that he showed me, this one line came up when I was talking to him today. And it was talking about how his music wasn't the violence. Talking about and making movies about the truths that were going on in the ghetto, and probably still are at this time, are still going on. That was not the violence. You see, his music, the movies he was making, were him using, as he said, literally verbatim, he was using his mind to get out of the ghetto, aka getting out of that reality. He wasn't looking to physically change that reality. He was detaching himself from that programming, from that reality, to get out of the ghetto. And he did that through his music. He did that by being the light in that shadow. By transmuting all of those programs and finding his truth through his music. In that way, he was literally quantum healing the planet. He was transmuting all of that anger, all of that fear, all of that pain into love. And that is what you feel from his music. So he literally said that. Me talking about what's going on is not the violence here. What's going on is the violence. And instead of picking up a gun, he decided to speak it. And so while his lyrics may seem to the untrained ear and eye, may seem violent and that he's like saying okay to all that. No, that was him feeling it and facing that shadow and transmuting it through feeling it. Because that is how we heal. We feel to heal. We are vibrational beings. I mean, we need to taste that frequency and let it move out of us. Or taste those frequencies and pull them into us. Amplify them. We are then that way the creators of reality. And that is what he meant by getting out of the ghetto through his mind. It was through his energy. He was showing others how to do that. Because he, deep down on a soul level, whether he consciously knew it or not, he kind of made it seem like he didn't at the time, but now he does, is what he's telling me. He knew that you do not try to fight a reality, a program. You simply starve it out, is what he's saying. And that's what he was doing. He was not fighting against the programming. He deep down knew by following his truth, by being transparent, he was stepping out of that reality and no longer allowing it to control him. He stepped out of it into his own reality. And that's where things got really super juicy in this channeling session. Is he literally called me and all of us the programmers of our reality. Meaning, in terms of me, he explained this is how he explained it to me, because I've always been the type to figure things out. Like I like figuring out things and working with it. It's one reason why I became a trainer for 8 to 10 years, can't remember now, shit. Is because I loved figuring out the body and how to work with it. And I loved, coming up with new exercises. And then I entered into this energetic realm, or, woke up to it. And I became obsessed with exploring and tinkering with it. And that's because he called me the energetic programmer. meaning we are literally the programmers, the creators of our own reality. And we do that through our truth. Because when we are in love, when we choose to love ourselves, that's like turning on our truth. That is like plugging in to the universe, everything that is. That is what we get limitless choice from. As there was no wrong truths, there was no false truths in this realm. Everything is valid. It's up to you to choose. So the beliefs we hold, about ourselves, about the world, but we choose, or what is the coding to our reality, the beliefs we have, the feelings we dominantly have, the choices we make each moment. Those are all the foundations of our reality, the codes to our reality. And so as a channeler, I have a unique ability to not just tap into my Akashic records, which is basically everything you've done in all past lives. Because time doesn't exist, it's all now, is in the Akashic records. So basically everything you do here on Earth and even in other realms, it's stored. And going back to what he said, the concrete and the handprints in the wet concrete. Every time you are here on Earth, you are putting your unique stamp on it by living your truth, by learning the lessons that you do, by expanding yourself. It's not like you step into a new life and is starting over. That's not how it works. And as a channeler, we have the unique ability, because we can all channel, by the way. It's not unique in that way. But I'm just saying, like, it came really fast to me. Like, I've done it many times before. Like, it's just always, as soon as I got into meditating, it's just like, boom. But we all have our unique gifts that really are stronger than us than others. Like, we are unique, and that's what I mean by unique. We all have the ability to tap into this if we practice it. But going in deeper is, I can literally taste the energies of other people's Akashic records or fingerprints or unique stamps, frequency-wise. That is the legacy that we leave. And that's what he used. My legacy. He kept saying, my legacy. His legacy was his truth, his stamp that he put in this life. It's not just the music. It's not just the movies he made or everything he physically did. It was literally his energetic frequency, his energetic book that he left here for us to pick up and run with. He even said, like, it's up to you to carry the torch. I knew I wasn't going to heal. My intentions weren't to heal everything while I was here. It was to leave my legacy to be carried on. And that is what we all do. That is even what he did. He mentions it in his songs. The spirits of his brothers before him, he channeled through his music. You can listen to it in his songs too. I forgot which song it was. But we are all here to do that. We're here to keep evolving, refining, creating our unique realities, which are our unique fingerprint or stamp in this earth. That future generations, because even us doing this now, quantumly, our past self can pick up on it. And that's sometimes the aha moments that you get, or the visions that you see of, like, the future. That is you picking up on a aha moment your future self had and is passing down to you. Because everything you do now affects everything, the whole timeline. Because there only is now. But I don't want to go too deep into that. My point being is we are here to evolve in our own journey, to find our truth, and to put that stamp on the earth realm. And not even just on the earth realm, because I feel a strong connection to the Pleiadians, which is it's a extraterrestrial group of people. You can look it up. But I get so much channeling from other realms. So I don't even think it's just an earth thing. So I think if starseeds like me, we have the ability not just to put our imprint into the earth, but the entire universe. And so for people who have expanded to that, can also pick up those realms as well. So my point being is transparency or truth. We are here to create our most authentic stamp on our reality, on the time we have here. Not just for ourselves to build on in other lives, but for others as well. That is the legacy. What we do, no matter if you're a mom or an accountant or a coach, a channeler, a trainer, it doesn't matter what you're doing. It's how much of your resonance you imprint on your time here. You can't do it wrong. So he would always say, I could die today and be perfectly content because I've already stamped my legacy. I've showed up. So if I would be taken out tomorrow, I could die a happy man. And that's what he kept saying, to me especially as well, is if you were to die tomorrow, would you be happy with what you left behind? How truthful have you been? How much of your authentic fingerprints have you put on your time here? And I'm going to be real with you guys. I would not be happy. Because there's so much truth left inside me right now that needs to be shared. And not just on video. Not just out for the public to see. But I mean on an internal level. Speaking my truth in my relationships. Choosing the programs that I'm buying into and no longer succumbing to the fear that these programs are leaving me with. Because that's what happens. When we start to say no to a program, it's important to see yourself as stepping into your truth, into a new game or new reality. Because if you're trying to speak your truth to a program that doesn't resonate with you, and that has been my fear. I'm going to get personal here. Is, for the longest time, I've had issues or resistance to receiving money. Because I was deep entrenched in programming that was passed down from my family and the generations. And it's the huge matrix program it's on now is, if you don't sacrifice, if you don't work hard, you will not survive. You will not be safe. You can't make a living off your passion. And that's something that I've been working through. And I realized with Tupac today, the only thing stopping me is truly believing in my truth and no longer trying to measure up to that old reality that I was stepping out of. Because by doing that, I saw myself as failing. Like, if I do this, I'm going to fail. Rather than, saying the voice in my head being like, you're being lazy. You're choosing to be lazy and fail. No. Flip that. Tupac was just what really resonated with me was, you're not trying to fit into that reality anymore. You're choosing your truth. What's your truth calling you? And then you're stepping into that reality. You're calling that one forth. And when we're stepping out of an old reality, it's going to try and claw us back in because we're connected. We have attachments to it. So that's when fear and shame come in, as that second wind of pulling you back. So your only job is to focus on your truth. Focus on what lights you up. That's the reason why we stay at jobs way too long, why we stay in relationships too long. It's because we are afraid of our truth. We are afraid to be honest with ourselves because we don't know what's going to come. We're still attached to that reality, those beliefs we have that, I'm afraid to be alone. I don't want to be alone. We're afraid of our own truth because we're afraid to be that version of us, to embody it. Because we're still attached to those old programs. You see what I'm getting at here? When you embody your truth and what calls you in every moment by being present and just being real, being transparent. If this relationship isn't working for you, speak it. That's not saying you automatically have to leave. But if you're not transparent, then you're going to continue to live in that shadow of the relationship that doesn't satisfy you. But if you speak up, you may activate something in your partner that they've been feeling that they didn't know. And you can come together. If a job's not working for you, be honest with yourself. What's not working for me right now? Is it the job, or is it how I'm seeing it? Is the programs that I'm holding that I can let go of and make this more pleasurable? Put my unique stamp on it. Because it really doesn't matter what you do. It really is the energy you're bringing. It's your frequency that you're laying out. It's the legacy that you're leaving. Nothing you say or do is erased from time. It all is imprinted. It matters. Even if no one sees it, it fucking matters. And that was one thing that held me back for so long with my truth, was like, I wasn't getting the likes that I wanted or the validation. And now more than ever, I realize it doesn't fucking matter, because I am speaking my truth. I am shifting my reality by embodying it. I'm being fully me right now. And that is what matters. The more you do that and forget everything else, but you being transparent, you choosing love, you will never go without. Because it is you holding back. It is you running from yourself that is holding you in that ghetto. He didn't get out of the ghetto by holding on to the beliefs, by settling for what was. He got out of the ghetto by being real with himself, by believing in his truth, unseen as it was at the time, until it came into fruition. Because we are energetic beings. We operate through our feeling. That is us sensing the energetic reality underneath this seemingly physical illusion. The physical illusion is a metaphor for the truth that we are hiding within us, that wants to come out. That is what this realm is about, is calling out our most authentic frequency, so we can shed what is no longer us, what we picked up from past lifetimes as karma. We are here to be and blossom as the butterflies that we are. That's what waking up is. It's waking up to our truth. Not just that there's a spirit realm and that there's, manifestation and all this stuff. It's waking up to your truth. It is self-mastery. And when you master the art of loving yourself enough to be honest, to be transparent, even if you know they're not going to like hearing it, even if you know it doesn't fit into with where you're at right now, man, you're gold if you can get that. If you will no longer abandon your truth. Because every time you do, you give off a piece of your soul. And that's why you feel it. And we've gotten so far away from our truth because we keep following blindly. We keep conforming and ignoring that feeling within us that says, no, this isn't you. We've gotten so far away from our intuition and truth and natural way of being that we are constantly asking, was this food good for me? Oh, you want me to put this in my body? Oh, okay, yeah. No problem. We can't think for ourselves anymore. And that's what Tupac is saying. Your cure that you want, that answer, that thing you're longing for is in here. It's right underneath your nose. It's your heart. And by simply relaxing into yourself, by choosing to love yourself unconditionally, I love you is the activation of your frequency. If you're ever wondering how to find your frequency or how to feel it, I love you. You feel that resonance? That is your frequency. That's on, right? It is from there, by feeling, you're unraveling your truth. You're bringing it up. You're by shedding the layers that aren't you anymore, that never were. You see? So in his music, he is literally giving us the blueprints to create our unique reality, to use our energy, our unique gifts, our truth to get out of our ghettos, whatever that is for you. It's different for everybody. But you have the power to create it by being the programmer. You see, for me, I've always been, I can read a book and not finish it. I can just download it, the frequency. I channel the information and use it. That's my unique gift. But we all have the ability, we all have our own unique abilities of discovering our truth, of creating our reality. But we start tapping into it by trusting ourselves again, by loving ourselves unconditionally. And when we do that, we're more likely to love others unconditionally too, and see that there are no false realities, there are no false truths. That everybody is choosing their unique path, and it doesn't have to dictate ours. Follow your resonance. That's the key here. Transparency. Being real with yourself about what you truly want in that moment. And if where you're at is resonating with you. But it's time to stop running from ourselves. It's time to stop walking around and going through the motions and following the crowd. Because what you're doing is you're not creating your unique stamp. You're not even creating a stamp. You're blowing in the wind of that program to be forgotten. You're not contributing to the energy of this planet, to the up-leveling of this planet. We all have the ability to do that. And it doesn't matter who sees you, to know that you're doing that every time you choose you. Every time you operate from love, you are creating your unique frequency on this planet. You are doing your part. You are sending out that frequency to others to pick up on. It's all energy. And nothing you do is small. Nothing. You matter. And that's what he wants to share the most. What are you leaving? What torch are you leaving to be carried on? Because I promise you, his legacy is solid. People are still following his truth to this day even more than ever. Because he followed his resonance. It was so strong that it is like a torch. It's being carried from one person to another. And he even thanks me right now, and like in the meditation that I was in, thank you for carrying my torch. Like I said, like thank you for coming to me. Like of all people, why me? And he's like, why not you? Why not you? Thank you for carrying my torch. Thank you for being in resonance with my truth. Thank you for doing the work so you can shine bright enough to call this in, for me to see you. You're doing the work, because I've been so down on myself lately. It's going through that shadow work of like, I'm not doing enough. Or people aren't seeing me. And he said, like, I see you. You have endless, spirit and extraterrestrials seeing you right now. People are feeling you. That's what matters. You are putting your unique thumbprint on this planet right now by being you, by breaking generational fucking curses. You do that. You're creating a new world for yourself and others. Another possibility to tap into. And that's what he showed me too. Because I've been asking, like, what is it that I really do? Because I just let go and I give people what they need. But that is what he showed me that I do. Because in sessions, it changes. I just like sit back and I channel. And that's what he told me. Like, you're giving them the codes that they need to fine-tune their reality, to create more from their truth. Like, I'm giving them the little cheat codes. Like, oh, try this. And I'm literally channeling what they need to know from other realms, from their Akashic records, from mine. I literally give them the information. Like a fucking, like, encyclopedia, it feels like sometimes. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, there's sometimes I'm just like talking and it's just like coming out of nowhere. Where like it feels like I'm just channeling, because I am. I'm tapping into the codes that they need and giving you them. And that's the same way I create my reality. I have a desire that cues me in on what I'm calling in. And once I embody that desire, I then channel and attract everything needed to build that game, to build that reality. Through messages, downloads, through shadows coming up to be let go, so I can step fully into that new reality and leave behind the old one. We always get what we need, the relationships that we need, the these videos that we need. Like, the universe fully supports our authenticity. It does. It fully supports us in every way. So if we're asking for inauthenticity, if we're hiding our truth, the universe is like, okay, you can fall into that. But when we choose to shine bright and be fully us, to create something new, the universe is like, hell yes. You're at such a higher frequency when you're authentic. It's like you're plugged in. When you're not plugged into you, it's like trying to vacuum without being plugged in. It doesn't work. When you're plugged into you, aka the universe, your higher self, your highest version of you, you are unstoppable. You are limitless. You have everything at your fingertips. And that is what I feel like every day. There's times where I hit that shadow and I doubt myself, but I realize now that's a self-limitation. This is a conditionless world where we bring the conditions in. And that's what he told me too. Adding to that, love is unconditional. We add the conditions to it. Love is our natural frequency. It's who we are. We're just afraid to be it because of what's around us, because of the programs that have attached to us. When all we need to do is shine. All we need to do is fall into ourselves and start letting go of what no longer serves us, following that truth that resonates in the present moment, because there only is now. So I want to end it here by asking, what are you leaving behind? If you were to die tomorrow, would you be happy with the legacy you left? How much of you, your truth, your music did you let out? How much of your music and truth would you be taking with you to never be experienced by others? That's deep. That's deep, man. It's up to you. It's up to all of us. Start being transparent. Start being authentic. To living the life that calls us. Now, I'm no longer asking if I'm doing it right or wrong. But am I doing it my way? Live and let live. So, thank you for listening. Like I said, if you want some help doing this, I am offering one-on-one calls, also with longer programs if you want to get really down into it. I do 6-week programs, 6 to 10 week, depending on what calls for. But that's what I do. And it's now more than ever, I'm like truly resonating at my truth, because I've been really just being willing to detach from all these things that I thought I had to have to feel safe. But those attachments were limitations. I am everything I need. And the more you know that, the freer you are. And that is what I help people do. To remember their magic, to tap into their resonance. That's what I do. I'm the programmer. And so far, I've had such an amazing life since I started living this way. I finally feel like I'm living and not just waiting, not just going through the motions, but truly living it in my way. And that's something I'd rather do. I wouldn't give up on myself. I wouldn't give anything up for this experience. Know that you are safe living in your truth. Know that when you live your truth, you are stepping into the 4D, 5D, where truth is appreciated, where you are given everything you ask for, unconditionally. Do you love yourself enough to step into that, into your world? Are you willing to leave your unique legacy, your frequency here, for others to explore too? Future generations. And I truly believe that that's one aspect of what spirits are here. I'm not willing to say I understand it all, but that's what I'm feeling right now. Is where they left their energetic blueprints. They left their energetic books or frequencies for us to tap into and experience. Maybe that's what spirits are, who knows? Just a theory. But if you like this, please, give it a like, share with someone that would resonate with it, subscribe if you feel me. If not, that's cool too. But I will be hopping on here more and more with messages because I feel like that's my truth and I love it. So, I love you. Remember to love yourself enough to choose you today. You have a lot to think about. So do I. Drop in the comments what resonated with you as well. I'd love to hear.